If you like my videos, don't forget to follow me on social media to keep up to date with all the latest news regarding my channel and my content. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe below or at the end of the video. Don't forget to check out my brand new Amazon store, filled with recommendations on Blu-rays, DVDs, books, and other media featured in my videos. G'day guys, Dave Lee coming at you once again from Down Under, and yes, we've done it! We've reached 3,000 subscribers, and in such a short time too. It feels like only yesterday we were celebrating 2,000. In fact, it was only a month ago that we were celebrating 2,000 subscribers. This has happened really quickly. My first 1,000 subscribers pretty much took up the best part of a year to build up. I mean, the first year or so of this vlog, I wasn't really sort of actively doing videos. I'd do one every now and then. I wasn't really daily vlogging. As soon as I started daily vlogging, I started getting a lot more views, and I started getting a lot more subscribers, and that really built up. And I made my second 1,000 in 6 months. So it took me half the time to get my second 1,000 as it did to get my first 1,000. And then here I was hoping that it would take 3 months to make another 1,000. I was hoping that each 1,000 I could get would sort of halve the time of the previous one. But it happened really quickly. It happened in 1 month. This, however, is in big part thanks to a couple of Star Wars videos I put up during my Star Wars week. To celebrate the release of Star Wars The Last Jedi, 2 videos, one called Star Wars The Last Jedi Deleted Scenes, which at this point has had over 310,000 views, which is crazy. Prior to this, my most highly viewed video was like 31,000 or something like that. So this has completely obliterated that. But I also posted another video that week, the second one. It was called Star Wars All 9 Movies Ranked, and that made something like 32,000. So in 1 week, I created my 2 most viewed videos ever. As a result of those 2 videos, I reached my 3,000 and have basically made about like 800-900 subscribers off the back of those 2 videos, which is insane. So that tells me I need to make a lot more videos like this. You know, if I could do videos like that, you know, a couple of times a week, I'd be raking in lots of views and heaps of subscribers. Hopefully we could sort of try and build this channel really quickly. But look, it's like trying to catch lightning in a bottle, isn't it? It's almost impossible, and lightning doesn't always strike twice in the exact same spot. So it's going to be a long journey to, again, make this channel even bigger. So here I am just waiting for the next 1,000 subscribers to celebrate that 4,000. It's going to be crazy. I don't expect that to happen as quickly. I'm actually over 3,000 subscribers at this point. By this point, we're up to 3,250 at the time I filmed this. Sorry it's taken me a little while to get to this celebration video. It's been Christmas, it's been New Year's. Actually, I reached my 3,000 on Christmas Day, which is a very nice Christmas gift from my wonderful viewers out there. It's been an insane couple of weeks, channel-wise. And look, I do want to say thank you to all my wonderful new subscribers out there, and welcome if this is like the first Q&A you're watching of mine. Welcome, I hope you enjoy my content going into the future. So I opened up a Q&A last week, and I was inundated with questions. This is probably the largest outcome I've had for questions of a Q&A. I'm going to try and read as many as I can. Sorry if I don't read your question. There's so many here that I feel like we could like split this over a couple of videos. Let's do it. Let's get straight into this, because I'm doing this. I do a lot of this. I ramble a lot. Let's get into the questions and sort of answer these as quickly as we can so we can get through as many as we can. So first up, Jasper Freddo Frog asks, what were your favourite and worst films of 2017? This same question was also asked by Red Bandit. Great question. I don't know. I don't know if I really watched a lot of the movies that come out last year. I've been so busy with the channel and a lot of other things that I've fallen back on my movie watching this last year. The only ones that I really saw were sort of the big blockbuster movies. I sort of fell back on a lot of, like, I still haven't watched Baby Driver, War for the Planet of the Apes I still haven't watched, Mother, Get Out I only just watched last week, which was fantastic. There's so many movies from last year that I just haven't caught up on yet. I just feel like I can't do like a favourite and worst list just yet until I sort of catch up on all those movies. Once I catch up, I'll come back to that question. PK Hectic asks, how many Blu-rays do you think you actually have? Well, I can actually tell you, not how many I think I have. I can tell you how many I have. On our iPad, this is how we catalog our movies. A few people have asked this too. How do you catalog your movies? I'm gonna make a full video on this at some point. But we use this app called CLZ. You basically scan in the movies that you buy, and it creates like this huge catalog of all your titles. The best part about this is we can actually go in here, folders, format, and you can sort it by format. So I can tell you right now, in our collection, we have a collection of 4,553 movies all up. Of them, 3,238 are Blu-ray discs, and also 63 Ultra HD Blu-ray discs as well. DVDs, 1,251. So yeah, over 3,200 Blu-rays in the collection, which is, it's insane. We started collecting Blu-rays 2009, 2008, 2009? 2008, like the end of 2008, we started collecting Blu-rays. We've collected 3,238 of the bloody things in that time. Insane. Pico Hectic, this is sort of like a two-part question. He also asked, what was your first Blu-ray ever? I remember when we first bought the Blu-ray player, we sort of like, you know, as you do when you first get into a format, you buy the player and you buy like a handful of discs that you want to check out on the format. For us, I think the first Blu-ray we ever bought was, we bought a couple of box sets. We bought the Oceans box set, so Oceans 11, 12, and 13. And we also bought Batman. It wasn't the trilogy at that point, it was Batman Begins and Batman The Dark Knight in like a double pack. We also got, I think we got Starship Troopers 3 with the player. I can't remember what else. I remember we walked out with like a small handful of discs. There were a few other things, I can't remember what they were, but they were a couple of the very first Blu-rays. We've actually got quite a few like Blu-ray, DVD, movie collecting questions here. Let's get to all of those ones right now. Here's another very similar question. Nightfall81 asks, when did you decide to start seriously collecting movies and start your collection? We've collected like movies for as long as I can remember. When I was a kid, we never really collected VHS. It would always be going to the video store to hire a movie, or hire like, you would hire 2 new releases, which would be overnighters, or 2-nighters, and then you would hire 5 weeklies. So that was like a lot of older movies. That's where a lot of my movie education came from, was hiring movies from the video store and just watching like a whole back catalogue of movies. But we never really bought VHS. They were like really expensive, and my family just never really bought them. Had a very small selection of them, but it was never like a big collection. When DVDs started coming out, there was sort of, I suppose video stores kicked around for a little while after DVD, probably a decade or so, probably. When DVDs started to get affordable, there was a store that opened here called Easy DVD. I don't believe there's any physical stores. There might be somewhere in Australia, but it's certainly not in Melbourne anymore. They're only online as far as I know. When they first opened up, they were like the precursor to JB Hi-Fi. JB was around, but mainly they just sort of dealt with hi-fi stuff like sound systems and CDs and stuff like that. Easy DVD was the first place to like majorly sell DVDs. And when those stores opened up, they were so cheap. I remember me and Dad going in there. I was only quite young. I was like maybe 10, 11, 12. We went in and we like bought a big stack of DVDs because they were so cheap. It was like $5, $10 movies. Like, what? This is cheaper than going to a video store. That was sort of the beginning of the end for video stores, sadly, even though we loved it. Now, it's just like, that's sort of where the collection started. We just buy a lot of DVDs. But, like I said, we only have like 1,200 DVDs compared to 3,200 Blu-rays. So really when Blu-rays started becoming a big thing, that's when we really started seriously collecting movies, and we just love it. We buy movies every week, just about, and we just love collecting. We just love collecting movies, and so that's where it started. Similarly, again, Tom Lacey asks, have you watched all of your Blu-rays, or do you buy them for fun? There's a lot of fun in collecting. Had certainly not watched all of the Blu-rays. I reckon we've probably watched 3/4 of the collection. There's only about 1/4 of the collection we haven't watched. We buy them because we love movies. There's a love of collecting, a love for collecting stuff, and just sort of a thrill of hunting out bargains and stuff, so it keeps it fun. But we only really buy movies we really want to watch, or we think we'll like, or movies that we do like. So we have like a huge back catalogue of stuff. There's so many movies we haven't watched, but it keeps it fresh, it keeps it easy to go on a Friday night or a Saturday or Sunday night, or just whenever we want and go, feel like watching a movie, let's watch something that we haven't watched, and you just go through a list of stuff that you haven't watched. You can actually, on the CLZ app, you can keep track of what movies that you've watched and movies that you haven't watched. So we'll go through the list and go, let's watch this one. So it makes it easy, and yeah, over time we will watch everything. The last couple of years we've sort of fell a little bit slack. It's been a busy couple of years. Deluxe Comics asks, what is your favourite slipcover that you own? I've prepared myself. I've actually grabbed a couple here. Here's a great one. This is one of the first slipcovers I ever got. It's the Fantasia 2 movie collection, and look at that. Can we capture the light on that? Look at that. Look at the way that the light interacts with this slipcover. It's so cool. Look at that. This holographic burst. I think that's fantastic. Similarly, we have this. The Pinocchio cover here does a very similar thing with the light in that you get this great like holographic effect from the star up in the corner here. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That's like, oh. I also love this one. This one might be a little bit harder to sort of show off. This is fantastic. I don't know. There you go. You can really capture that. It's shiny. It's got like this like glitter in it. It's got this really beautiful glitter effect, as you can see sort of through here and across here. And even like there's like a shooting star thing there. I think that is really just a gorgeous cover. Look at that. This is actually a recent cover. This was last year, the year before last year, I think. This has to take the cake of just an awesome slipcover. This is fantastic. This is from the Doctor Strange 3D release. This is the only time I ever seen anyone release a plastic slipcover. That's like awesome. It's like a see-through plastic thing, so you can see through to the cover itself. And then the cover here is also plastic. It's a plastic cover, so if you take that cover out, the cover is plastic. Like you can see me through the cover there, so that when that is there, so that when you have the cover in the case, it's like this silver effect, which is actually the disc. This is like a multi-layer, oh, and you get like this cool like holographic thing in the back too. Another question we got from Movie Man, very similar. What is your favorite steelbook? This was a little hard because I'm not a huge steelbook collector. I do love them though. I think they're cool, and I have a few. A couple did stand out to me actually after I had a think. This one in particular, I just love this one. The Captain America Civil War. I love this one because I love the detail on it. I love the debossing that they've done in here, and sort of the spot gloss, and just the matte cover and the shininess of it, and everything was just so great about that cover, and even on the back. Otherwise is this collection of steelbooks here, which are the Jurassic Park movies. Jurassic Park, that's great, look at that. The Lost World, Jurassic Park, again, very similar. Jurassic Park 3, a little bit of a different cover there, but still cool. And these have all got embossing on them and stuff, debossing and stuff, awesome. Jurassic World, I just thought they were fantastic, and I had to get them all. The first 3 of these were Zavvi exclusives, so I had to order them on Zavvi. I don't like ordering from Zavvi unless I really have to. And then this guy, Jurassic World, this one actually hasn't got any embossing or debossing or anything. It's just flat. But that one was actually a HMV exclusive in the UK. Luckily enough, I happened to be in the UK when that was released. I was able to go and pick that up. Otherwise, it would have been cost a fortune to go and get that from the UK. But yeah, I love them. I think they're some of the greatest steelbooks that have been released. Movie Man also asked, what's my favourite Alfred Hitchcock movie? I have so many favourite Alfred Hitchcock movies. Psycho, is that like cliche to say Psycho? I think Psycho's fantastic. It's like one of the most perfect movies ever made. Vertigo is great. Rear Window is fantastic. North by Northwest, To Catch a Thief. I can't pick one. Almost anything that Hitchcock did with James Stewart or Cary Grant, I adore. I think they're some of my favourite ones. I can't pick one though. I love them all. I love them all. Movie Man has also asked a question that has also been asked by Joshua Nicholas and many, many others. What does your entertainment setup look like? I have a movie room, which is like a home cinema where I watch most of my movies. I have a 4K television in my bedroom, which is where I watch some movies occasionally, especially ones I've got 4K, obviously. Look, I have promised for ages and ages and ages that I'm going to do like a tour of my home cinema room. That's going to happen. I'm going to actually film that this week. I'm going to put that up as soon as I can. So I'm not going to answer that just yet, but I have a home cinema room and we're going to do a tour of that. It's one of the like most highly asked things. I get asked all the time. Imogen Prosperi asks, why don't you get parcels delivered to your house instead of going to the post office every day? A few reasons. Firstly, I don't like stuff getting delivered home because I don't like the idea of the postman delivering like maybe a hot toy and leaving the $300 action figure sitting on my front doorstep if I'm not home. Someone could just come by and grab that and it's gone. One, it's for security of my parcels. I'd rather stuff like that go to a parcel locker and I can just go and pick it up when I want to. Secondly, because I have this channel, people wanted to send stuff in, so I had a lot of people asking where can I send stuff. I wanted to open up a PO box, but they're expensive and it just was a lot of work to get a PO box. These parcel lockers are free, so that gives me me an address I can give to the general public, or I can give on my videos for people to send stuff. And that protects my privacy, because being on YouTube doing these videos, I'm like opening my house up to everybody out there. And there's a big privacy issue in that people know what you've got, and you're showing off all this stuff like $300 action figures, huge Blu-ray collection, stuff like that. If you go giving out your address, you're sort of opening yourself up to a whole lot of trouble. It protects myself, it protects my family, it protects my privacy, it protects my safety. It's the smart thing to do, I suppose, like when you're putting yourself out there on this platform that has millions and millions and millions of viewers. I don't want to give my home address. And third, it's a bit of fun. I don't mind driving to the supermarket to go and pick up a parcel every day or every couple of days. And it makes the vlogs a little bit fun. I do like my weekly unboxing most weeks. People seem to really enjoy them. And I think it adds a little bit of fun to the beginning of the videos where people can actually watch me going and getting my parcels and stuff. So I think it's like a multifaceted thing. There's multiple reasons for that. I love it. Here's one that's sort of apt for my 3,000 subscriber celebration video. What made you start making YouTube videos? Since I was a kid, I've loved making home movies and stuff, and I've always been sort of obsessed with finding ways to get my videos out there and get people to watch them and all that kind of stuff. YouTube is something that I've sort of played around with for a long time. I used to upload sort of short films to YouTube, like little videos that I used to make when I was a bit younger. It wasn't ever anything serious, because I never really thought YouTube was something that would be so big. I suppose it's rapidly becoming sort of the main source of entertainment or visual media. Kids are growing up with YouTube. It's the easy way to access stuff. I actually used to host a television series on community television here in Melbourne. For 2 years we did that show. I had a lot of fun with that. So I've always sort of wanted to be in media. My end goal is to make movies. I've always loved being in front of the camera, and I loved making the TV series. We had a YouTube channel for the TV series. If you want to check that out, it's called The Silly and Lee Show. Just me being an idiot on television, basically. So you can go and check that out if you want. And as part of the Silly and Lee Show, we wound up on a bunch of media lists, which meant we could go to movie premieres and all this kind of stuff. After we finished doing Silly and Lee Show, I sort of wanted to keep my media connections. And I thought, well, let's start up a YouTube channel where I do movie reviews. So I started up a channel where I did movie reviews, not very regularly, maybe once every 3 months or something. It was terrible. It was terrible. I'd sit there for an hour talking about a movie and no one would watch it. I gave up. And when I gave up, I lost a lot of media contacts. Last year, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna start up a channel. I have a great knowledge of Disney stuff. I have so much Disney collectibles and stuff. I'm gonna make a Disney YouTube fan channel. And I did that. It sort of took off. But I started realizing around the point that I had 2,000 subscribers that this is something that I wanted to start taking a little bit more seriously. It's a lot of fun, but it's something that I love doing so much. I want to take this more seriously, and I want to grow this channel even bigger than I ever expected, and I want to grow my community even more than I ever thought would be possible. So that was around the time I changed my name to Dave Lee Down Under from Disney Dave Down Under. So yeah, I really just started making YouTube videos because I love making videos. I wanted to share my love of movies and Disney and stuff with everyone, and it's just sort of just a natural progression from me always wanting to make movies and trying to find an audience for the content that I create. And I've found one, and I love this place so much. I love everything about it. I love being able to communicate with people. I love that people can watch my stuff and give me instant feedback. I just think it's a fantastic platform. I love it. A very similar question from Dragon Robot 67. What advice would you give for starting a movie/collecting channel? What advice would I give? Okay, I'm gonna give you guys some advice that I'm just gonna relay on from one of my favorite YouTubers, a guy named Casey Neistat. Don't know if anyone's heard of the guy. He's huge. He's got millions and millions of subscribers. I love him. His advice was do a video every single day. In his words, show up to work every day. When I started following his advice to do a video every single day, to keep creating content no matter what, I started seeing results instantly. My subscriber base grew, my viewer rate grew. Now, it's a lot of work and it's not for everybody, but you're just going to keep on pushing out that content, or else people will either forget about you or it will find it harder for people to find your stuff. The more content you create, the more interaction you have with your content, the more YouTube's going to start pushing your videos to like the top of search lists and stuff. So that was Casey's advice. that I took on board and I feel really grew my channel. Here's some advice from myself. You just need to be passionate about it. You need to love what you're doing. You have to have your heart set in it. Don't do it because you want to be famous. Don't do it for any of those reasons. That's none of the reasons I do it. I do it because I have a lot of fun. And that's why you got to do it. You got to do it because you have fun. And if you want to be serious, if you want to grow your channel, you got to have fun, but you got to take it seriously as well. You got to have fun, but you also got to put passion and energy and love into your channel and your content. Pay attention to your subscribers, to your viewers. Communicate with them. Everything just helps build your channel and your community. And most of all, number one, be yourself. Don't try to be someone else, and just be honest and be open and just allow yourself to be open to the world. One thing I've always said is that if you want to be on television, do YouTube, whatever, you have to allow yourself to be able to just do anything. For me, I'm a little bit more reserved in real life. I'm not a shy person, but I'm sort of more reserved. But I feel like you put a camera in front of me, I'll do anything. You know, don't be afraid to make yourself look like an idiot on camera. I think like 80% of the stuff I do is just making myself look like an idiot, especially if like you watch my TV show stuff. It's just me being an idiot in front of a camera, and you can't be afraid to do that. You can't be afraid to embarrass yourself. Don't care about what other people think. Just think about what you think and just be yourself. Lonely Candle asks, is the shopping centre you are always visiting High Point? It sure looks like it. It is not. Bonus points for anyone down in the comments who can guess the shopping centre that I usually visit on my videos. Jay asks, how do you create your iconic cartoon cards? So Jay is talking about like my logos, the title cards that pop up at the beginning of my videos. Of course, it started with the Disney Dave one, which was me with the Mickey ears, and of course now Dave Lee Down Under one, which is it's basically the Disney Dave logo without the Mickey ears or the Mickey Mouse on the t-shirt. And then we had the Star Wars Dave one. There's been a Marvel Dave one. There's been a Christmas one. I have a very, very, very talented friend. Her name is Sean Tayla. She has a website, Sean Tayla Design, Sean Tayla Illustration and Design. I'm not plugging Sean very well, but I've listed her website down the bottom if you want to go and check out her stuff. And she is just such a talented artist. Her style is very much influenced by Disney. She's got a very Disney-esque sort of style. So I thought I need to get Sean to do me a logo. I reached out to her. I said to Sean, I just need like a picture of myself that looks like a Disney version of myself, and I want it as my logo, and I want me doing this. This was the thing that I do at the beginning of my videos. And that was like an homage to Walt Disney, because whenever Walt Disney was pointing at stuff in pictures, he'd always have his fingers like this. But that was sort of my little homage to Walt Disney, especially this channel started out as a Disney fan channel. So I said to Sean, I want to be doing this and whatever, and she just drew the most beautiful, beautiful artwork that I started using on the channel. The actual logo design itself, I personally designed, I animated that myself using Adobe After Effects. Sean just drew the actual caricature, I built the logo around it. After that, I started getting more sort of viewers and stuff. I thought, you know, it'd be great if I had like alternate versions of it, like a Christmas version, a Star Wars version, a Marvel version, to put at the beginning of specific videos. I said to Sean, can you do like a couple of variants on this? She basically took the same logo from Disney Dave and just changed it a little bit. And I said to her, when she actually did the Marvel one, I said, can you make sure I'm not wearing those Mickey ears in case one day I just want a version of my logo where I'm not wearing Mickey ears. So that made that very easy for me. When I went back to make the Dave Lee Down Under logo, I could strip the head from the Marvel Dave onto the Disney Dave body and then just sort of Photoshop out the Mickey Mouse t-shirt. This is from Cinema Geeks. Also, Deluxe Comics asked this as well. Do you have a favourite movie poster? I love the iconic movie posters of Drew Struzan, like the stuff he did for Steven Spielberg movies, Star Wars, the original Star Wars poster he did, Indiana Jones. But some of my favourite movie posters are from like the 1930s, 1940s. I love that classic movie poster artwork. So probably my favourite of that bunch is the artwork that was done for Casablanca. That's one of my favourite movies of all time. And I think the artwork for the posters for that movie was just stellar, above anything else. Simon Dowdy, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, asks, I was curious to know what editing software you use and what kind of camera. I use Final Cut Pro to edit most of my stuff. I do a lot of my graphics work on Adobe After Effects. I use multiple cameras to do multiple things. I use a little Canon point and shoot G7X to do like most of my stuff. I'm shooting on that right now actually because it's just easy, it's handheld. I used to use this guy, I'm using this guy for my audio now. This is about all I use this guy for now, to hold my microphone. I used to do all my vlogging on this, but this was so heavy and just so... I had to stop using that, and the picture on it, surprisingly enough, is not as good as the picture I'm getting off this Canon G7X. I also use my iPhone when I'm sort of out and about and I want to film something. I use my GoPro too when I'm out and about and do lots of filming. So many different little cameras for many different purposes that I use. But this guy here is my go-to camera for filming vlogs like this, and most of the videos that I do around the house, out and about stuff I do with sort of other cameras. The Canon I haven't used for a very long time. It's so big and bulky, and I did all my overseas vlogs on that and it was just awful. Brazord asks, what are your predictions for Infinity War? Sorry, but I don't do that. I don't do predictions. I feel like if you predict something about a movie, or you come up with all these theories and all that kind of stuff, it ruins your movie experience. Star Wars The Last Jedi is like the best example for that. Everyone had all their fan theories and all these things that they thought was going to happen and was going to be great. And then the movie rolled around, it was nothing like they were expecting and they hated it. People hated the movie because it wasn't what they had made up in their head. And that ruins the movie. You go in expecting one thing, you get something else. That ruins the movie for a lot of people. I didn't have any theories or predictions or anything for The Last Jedi. I read so much of that stuff before The Force Awakens, and yeah, it ruined my movie experience a little bit. It is to the detriment of your viewing experience. So I don't get into any of that. I have no predictions. I have nothing. I don't read any theories or anything online. I want to go in with a fresh brain. Other than what I see in the trailers, I don't want to know anything else. And I go in, I just love it. That's why I love The Last Jedi, because it was nothing like, oh, I wasn't really expecting anything, and it blew me away. No predictions for Infinity War from me. Generic username 23, most desired franchise that Funko Pop doesn't currently have rights to. I would love a John McClane Pop vinyl. Why hasn't the Pop vinyl Funko got the rights to Die Hard yet? Give me that John McClane Pop vinyl. It would be awesome in his singlet with his bloody feet and his gun. It'd be so cool. Foxsock asks, as does Mini Miner, Bogut12, how old are you and what do you do for a living? This is a question I've actually answered in a couple of previous Q&As, but I know I've got a lot of new subscribers out there, and I don't expect you to go back and watch all the older stuff. How old am I? I'm currently 26 years old. And what do I do for a living? I'm a freelancer. I do a lot of freelance sort of media stuff. So I produce corporate videos, wedding videos, just all that kind of stuff. I used to do a lot of freelance work in the photographic advertising industry. I sort of got out of that recently this year. I want to focus more on my own work, my own freelance stuff for sort of personal clients, as well as sort of focusing on the YouTube channel, which is something that I really want to build. Just to rectify that last thing, I don't consider doing YouTube as a living, because I make peanuts off YouTube. A $50 check a month does not cover the bills. That's another tip for those interested in getting into YouTube. Don't expect quick money. It doesn't work like that. But a lot of part of my time now is sort of devoted to focusing on building my YouTube channel too. So I feel like it's a bit of a hobby, but I want to make it something maybe a little bit more in the future. Mini Miner asked, how did you get into Star Wars? Well, it was around the time The Phantom Menace first came out in 1999. The trailer was released, and that was like one of the first sort of viral videos that people sort of started sharing in emails. That was back before YouTube and all of that. All that was on the Star Wars website was the trailer. You could download it, and that like spread like wildfire on email. I remember my dad coming home from work one day going, you got to check out this video I've been sent on email. It's a trailer for a new movie called Star Wars. Check it out. I was like, whoa, what is this? My dad wasn't a Star Wars fan or anything like that, but he thought this might be a movie that he might want to get into. So I was like, man, I have to see this. Dad was like, I think it's like the fourth movie, but I think it's like it comes before the old one, so maybe you should watch the old ones first. So I went to my nan's house. My nan had the VHS tapes of the original trilogy. I remember going to her house to borrow them. She wasn't home, so Dad had a key. We went in and we just took them, and we came home. I was like 8 years old at the time, and I watched them all like back to back, and I fell in love. Three Lemons asked, what was your first Star Wars movie? My first one was A New Hope, so I started at the beginning. And I feel privileged, thankful that my dad was like, you should watch the old ones first, get a feel of it, see if you'll like the new one, and you'll probably want to understand the old ones before you watch the new ones. Very, very thankful for that, because I'm so happy that I was brought up on the original ones, and they were the first ones I fell in love with. And my nan's VHSs were the original versions of the movie too. So they weren't special edition or anything like that, they were the original ones. So I fell in love with the original versions of the movies, the original theatrical versions, before I saw it was like years before I even saw the special edition. So they were the ones I fell in love with, and I love Star Wars. I love it so much. Peter Semos asks, I've never gotten into comic books, but wanting to give one a try. What would you recommend as a starting point for a Star Wars comic? Okay, is a good one. Although I've just done a video, which is like the chronology of Star Wars comics, the canon comics. You want to check that out, little link up the top somewhere. Just on that video, that's like a timeline of how all the comics happen chronologically, but I don't necessarily think that the beginning is always the best place to start as a jumping point. I would recommend getting your hands on these trade paperbacks. Star Wars Skywalker Strikes is the first volume of the Star Wars, and Darth Vader is the first volume of the Darth Vader series. These two sort of run simultaneous. If you want to know how to read these properly, check out that video I did. These two books are a really great starting point, and the first, I think, 2 or 3 volumes of these series sort of interweave with each other. It's fantastic. There's like there's a crossover event, fantastic series. But yeah, if you want to get into the Star Wars comics, I'd really recommend getting into these first. These really give you a good idea of how these comics work, how they play out, the art styles, the writing styles, the storytelling, everything. This is where I started, and I recommend you guys start here too. And if you really fall in love with it, then get the rest of them. I've got so many of them now. I've got just about everything that's been published. Look guys, I have so many more questions. Like I said, I'm not going to get through them all in this video, but thank you so much for sending all of your questions in. If I didn't answer any of your questions, then I will address them in another Q&A down the line. So thank you so much. I'm keeping all of these on file, and I will answer more of these questions in the future. Look, gosh, my throat is really hurting, and I've run out of vocal power. So I'm going to close this off. I will see you again very soon. I'm still taking it easy on holidays. Regular content will probably start next week. We'll get back into sort of more daily stuff, bigger content, but I thought I'd sort of tie you over with something small for now. Thank you everyone for watching. If you're a first time viewer, if somehow this is the first video of mine you've stumbled across, you've liked it, you'd like to see some more, then please, after the jump at the very end of the video, there'll be like a little subscribe thing. Click that and you'll be subscribed. To my new viewers out there, g'day once again. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're enjoying the channel so far. To absolutely everybody out there, don't forget to hit the like button down below. It does a great deal in getting my videos out there. And of course, I hope I'll see you all again soon. Until next time though, guys, take care, and I hope you have a wonderful day.